around about 67% of all the cars that have been racing here this weekend are using Brembo brake components somewhere on their vehicle. In the sunshine, just off the Daytona Beach coastline, the green flag is in the air for 2025 at the start of the IMSA Weathertech Sports Car Championship at the pole-sitting BMW. Dries Vanthoor times it perfectly. He's away and down into the first corner. Second place, Nick Yellerly and Felipe Nasser disputing second place. The Porsche up the inside for a moment. I thought that Nasser was through in that number 7 machine, the 7 Porsche Penske Motorsport machines, the one with the black pinstripes, still disputing it, coming out of the International Horseshoe, and already a spin for the number 2 of United Autosports, Nick Bull, transferring to that team. He's the defending LMP2 champion. Well, you know what? If you're going to make a mistake, if it was a mistake from Nick, do it now. You've got 23 hours, 59 minutes and 19 seconds to put it right. He's pointing in the right direction. I didn't see any damage on that Oreca. As the lead cars are already up on the banking, it was a split start with the rest of the field coming through in LMP2. Dan Goldberg held on to the lead. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us at IMSA Radio on X. Good to hear from you right the way through. And fair warning ahead for the midnight to 6 o'clock, the Sacred Coffee Night Owls section. It'll be me in the studio, and I want to have a conversation with you in that 6-hour segment. We're also taking over the airways of NBC Sport Peacock, so those of you in the States will be able to join us in vision and in sound. Wherever you are in the world, we are underway with IMSA in 2025.
Perfect start from the pole setter, the number 24 of Dries Vanthoor. He set an amazing lap time in an interrupted qualifying session on Thursday, and he's here for the full season in IMSA and doing an amazing job for Team RLL. The last time BMW won this race was back in 1976. What it would mean for the BMW factory to win here, but they have 23 hours and 58 minutes in front of them. But all week they've had strong pace, both in a one-lap sense.
Your driver assistant can stand there. You just need to leave somebody with the tyres. It's a safety aspect, and you know this is not something that that has been neglected. It's slightly new for this year. It's been interpreted slightly differently, but it's been spelled out time and time again.
Yeah, and this is a case of an experienced team, although expanding the 2 cars like we said, so there could be some new personnel there that maybe hadn't been fully briefed on the clarification by IMSA for this year, but still early on, there's a lot of time to catch up. We're of course expecting we will have some yellows through the race. Obviously, we're still clean and green right now, which is great to see, but you never know what could happen.
George Curtis just picked up a pit lane speed violation. That's again a single kilometre an hour. That will be a drive-through in the 04 crowd strike by APR LMP2. You might think, oh, come on, it's just 1 kilometre an hour. Problem for TDS at the International Horseshoe. No, that's at the other end. It's the western end of the infield. This is the number 11 car for Hunter McElrea and TDS Racing. And he's got 3/4 of the way around, Johnny Palmer. It's a bit of an odd one, that.
Yeah, I've seen it many times before, though. You know, the initial turning, the tyres bite, and then maybe there's a slight kick from the rear, and it's gone in quite heavily, actually. The tyres are deliberately thick there, 3 or 4 deep, covered by local yellows right now.
No, it's gone full course yellow, and I've just pointed at John de Geese. This is not blame Johnny Palmer, this is blame de Geese.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been here for ages and not caused it to go yellow, so it's got to be you, John.
Yeah. 2 hours, 8 minutes and 30 seconds, and we have the first requirement for the BMW. Well, now, is it the BMW safety car that we saw yesterday? Hunter McElrea talking to the team at the moment. And now, who does this benefit, Johnny Palmer? Who's just been in? Who needs to be in?
coat because I knew this was going to happen, and I'm glad I did. I might have been sweaty just an hour ago, but already we're beginning to see
This crowd strike pit lane report.
Yeah, the number 2 United Autosports car came in from the lead. Garner Patterson, always great to bring a car in from the lead of anything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's always nice. I mean, it doesn't mean much at the moment. In 22 hours it would be great, but I think as the race evolves, obviously we just need to stay out of trouble. The new curbs at the bus stop are going to make a big difference, especially in LMP2 this year, I think, with how much you can take. And yeah, we need to be there at the end. So obviously great start. Good to give Ollie the car in the lead, and he'll just go and do his thing like he always does now, and we'll hopefully motor on.
Could you expand? I'm really interested in what you said about the new curbs at the chicane. What exactly do you mean by the difference it's going to make in LMP2?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a first-time Daytona 24-hour driver, so I have tested here a few years ago with the old bus stop where the curbs were big, wide, flat, where you could really attack them. But now we have, the big sort of baguettes with the sausage on the top. So yeah, it's going to be interesting how much you can use throughout the race and hopefully look after the car.
Is it all about, as a driver, is it all about staying disciplined, not being dragged into any kind of what we would say actual racing, just stick with the program kind of thing?
Sorry, can you go again?
Is it just about sticking with the program, keeping the discipline at this stage?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think you need to park your ego. You always look when the similar grade drivers in a different car, you want to be quicker than them. But I think with how this race is going to evolve, it's going to have to be very managed.
To take service, almost the entire GTD field there, actually, trying to get topped up with fuel and get fitted with some new Michelin tyres. But after those prototype pit stops, it still has the number 7 of Lawrence Vantor for Porter Penske Motorsport, who leads. He did not pit.
Some contact already, but the car's all right.
Yeah, we had a good sync going. We got up as far as P4, and that safety came out, so we took some fuel and extended the tires, so we were over 2 stints into the tire. Just towards the end there, got a tap from the 18 in the horseshoe, spun us around, and they got a penalty as a result, but nonetheless we lost 4 spots. Got it back up, and Chris got in there, and he's been doing a good job. We had a few little things to jump through with some car issues and stuff, but thankfully we sorted that, and now we're on the lead lap, so it's all good.
Your main program this year is Indy Next, a step below IndyCar on the ladder system here in North America, but you're doing the endurance races this year in the WeatherTech Championship for Pratt Miller. How do you view these 5 races? How does this help you with your ultimate goal on the single-seater side, and then maybe thinking long-term with where your career could head in endurance racing?
Yeah, no, it's, when I got here on Friday for the Roar, it was the first time I had to fuel save and deal with traffic and tire management, different things, all skill sets that are required for IndyCar. So doing the 2 learning curves parallel to one another, hopefully they meet in the middle in a year or 2's time in IndyCar.
When you look at drivers like Pato O'Ward or Colton Herta, I mean, they cut their teeth in LMP2 before they ever got to IndyCar, and you might do as much driving in this race here today and tomorrow as you'll do in your entire Indy Next season.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy to think about it. When you look at the drive time, I was like, man, that's a lot of Indy Next races right there, but it's great. So yeah, we're loving it, and it's a lot of fun. Ilot and Fittipaldi as teammates as well, so a lot of good stuff from those guys, and yeah, it's a blast.
And finally, you've got some racing in the family. Your uncle did some racing stateside. I know he did some Champ Car Kart, whatever it was called at the time, and did some Can-Am and things like that.
It's a shame that you don't do broadcast cam like they do in the NFL or booth cam, because this is astonishing.
It is.
This view, and yet you spend your whole time looking at TV monitors.
Exactly. We would have to have the camera looking out the way, not in the way of the booth, because all you would see is my following the channel scalp.
In actual fact, you could literally do this commentary in a concrete bunker, but you happen to have arguably the best view in all of motorsport.
But if we did do it in a concrete bunker, I would have missed the Chris Cummings spin that's just happened at turn 2 rather. 73, yeah, it was Chris Cummings. They hadn't identified it as the 73 LMP2 car, but it took him twice as long to go through sector 1 than everybody else. So unfortunately, that car being delayed, it's the Pratt Miller Motorsports car, and Ryan Marine was with that crew not that long ago. The other thing I just want to tidy up is that one or two people might have spotted the race leader being overtaken by a BMW, but that was actually Kevin Magnussen getting a lap back on the race-leading Kamui Kobayashi car. So Kobayashi saw the BMW on its way, car 24, allowed it through, and is it back on the lead lap now to confirm that? Just trying to work it out. It was definitely a BMW that got past, and it wasn't Robin Fries because he remains on the lead lap. It's shot off into the distance now and left Kobayashi versus Estra still to be separated by 3/4 of a second.
It's been an amazing battle, hasn't it, between Kobayashi and Estra for the lead of this race. They pulled away quite a bit from Felipe Drugovich. Declan, thank you very much for coming in, filling us in with Gradient's fortunes, and it's good to see them chasing back up the order, and best of luck for the rest of the race. I know you'll be glued to that timing screen all the way through, as you always are.
And remember, we're not here to take part.
Definitely not. No one is. No one is.
We're not here for the participation trophy.
No, don't. No,
I see what you're saying.
I'd like to think we'll be back here in 18 hours 57 minutes.
Looking forward to it.
To discuss that further. Actually, I think I'm doing the night shift with John, so potentially.
Well,
I'll get the story time books out and we'll do something.
Definitely. Thank you, Declan Brennan from Gradient Racing with their new Ford Mustang program here in the Ford Performance Global Broadcast Centre. And reasons to be cheerful if you're a Ford fan right now. Those Mustangs in GTD Pro and GTD running well.
The night stint with Sacred Coffee, as it has been for the last couple of years, you desperately need a good amount of Sacred Coffee to get you through the whole of the night. I know plenty of you are being brave.
And 10 GTP cars on the lead lap trying to make their way through, but Aitken hanging on clean at 4 now, with the number 7 of Nick Tandy right in behind, trying to win the Rolex 24 overall. He's won it in class before, but we got a spinner. Oh, it's the Cadillac. It's the number 40 Cadillac. The Dex Imaging Cadillac for Wayne Taylor Racing is in the wall, Ryan Marine, and it's the 9 Pfaff Lamborghini is involved as well.
Yeah, that was a big contact between the two. Oh, Rexy also involved, so at least 3 cars involved in this incident, and it was no small thing. Pratt & Miller LMP2, another car involved, as was the 48 from Paul Miller Racing. It's at that pinch point in turn 2 where everything just comes together. Someone went around and the track was blocked. This is the end result.
What a shock here at the Rolex 24 at Daytona. So many cars in with a shout in their respective categories. The 73 Pratt & Miller LMP2 car, the number 40 Wayne Taylor Racing Cadillac, which was flying in the hands of Kamui Kobayashi, is hard into the wall. The 9 Pfaff Lamborghini. Now, did the Lamborghini drive away from it, Ryan?
I don't think so. I think it was off in the infield. It looked like it had some significant damage. I don't think that thing is driving away from this, but Peter, that was a big one. That's scary stuff when the field is all barreling into that same turn together. Another car involved. This is United Autosports, car 2.
I'm losing count. I think I'm up to the 5 fingers that I have in terms of number of cars involved in this. Think we got time now to get a CrowdStrike pit lane report with Jamie Howe and a very patient Raffaele Marciello. Jamie.
Yes, Rafael has been very patient as we watch that dramatic event unfold. As we let that settle down before you go to get your rest here for BMW, we saw you guys do the brake change. What indications were you getting in the cockpit that you knew it was time?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we organized since before the ROAR. We know in IMSA the rules that everything you can get the lap back and everything, so we want to be extra sure to be fine at 10.
The performance that you guys have been able to have, and the sun was out earlier, you were able to be quick then when the sun set and it got cooler, you were able to be quick then. What kind of adaptations have you guys have to make over the course of this race so far?
I mean, I tend you not much because it's not so hot also during the day, so we just push, try to stay in the lead lap, as I said, to keep the car in one piece.